Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at, well, an incredible stack of source material. It really charts this almost unbelievable crisis.
Yeah, it's a wild one. We're talking about a major espionage operation that just goes completely sideways.
And not because of, the usual suspects, a foreign power or something.
No, not at all. It gets derailed by something much older, much more personal, a really toxic personal vendetta.
That really seems to be the core theme running through all these files, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We're diving into this world where you've got CIA operatives, dangerous drug lords, highly classified science, all colliding.
But when you peel it all back,
You find out the root cause is this deep-seated jealousy. Really intense personal stuff going back, 5 years?
so our mission today is basically to untangle this mess, this web of kidnapping, betrayal, even psychological warfare.
And figure out what was really driving all the chaos.
Yeah.
What was the engine behind it all?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. The immediate crisis. Our central figure is Rocco Taylor, an operative.
Right. And his world is basically falling apart because his sometimes girlfriend, Maddy Kohlmeyer, she's a CIA analyst.
Mm-hmm.
She's been kidnapped.
And the kidnapper isn't just anyone.
No, it's Minh Tran,
Yeah.
a major player, a Southeast Asian drug lord, a serious threat.
And the way they found out, pretty brutal.
Oh, yeah. Her car, a BMW convertible, found sunk in Chesapeake Bay, empty.
But with a 2x4 jammed on the gas pedal.
Exactly. A deliberate message. She wasn't just missing, she was taken.
Classic intimidation. So the agency, how did they react?
They immediately sidelined Rocco, pulled him off the official investigation.
The reason being his emotional involvement.
That was the official line. But the sources, they make it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Rocco was the only way they could actually talk to Tran initially.
Right, because Rocco found that encrypted email.
He did, from trans people.
Yeah.
And the demand was, it was shocking.
Minh Tran wanted Dr. Ruffin, the scientist Rocco had just captured.
Yeah, the very same scientist whose work is basically at the heart of this whole story. Tran wanted him in exchange for Maddy.
And the timeline was tight.
Ridiculously tight, an initial deadline of just 10 hours.
Yeah.
Almost impossible.
So Ruffin must have been incredibly valuable. Why risk an analyst's life over him?
Well, Ruffin's work, it's this advanced biochemical formula. Later on, the sources call it sugarcane,
Okay.
and it's considered critical to national security.
Curfew.
Too risky to trade. So from the agency's perspective, a very cold operational one,
Maddy became expendable.
or at least a liability, a potential sacrifice to protect Ruffin and his research.
So this professional crisis immediately crashes into Rocco's personal life, which was already complicated.
Extremely complicated. Rocco and Maddy, they'd been together on and off for about 2 years.
But it ended.
It did, because Rocco, deep down, still had feelings for someone else, Gena Armstrong, his old flame.
And here's where the web gets even stickier, right?
Oh, yeah. The sources reveal this major twist. Maddy, even though she was hurting over Rocco, she'd started seeing someone else, secretly.
And that someone was?
Rocco's former boss and friend, Travis Franks.
Wow. Okay, so they were keeping it quiet.
Very quiet, waiting for Travis's divorce to be finalized,
Uh,
which apparently was taking a long time.
So Rocco's trying desperately to save his ex-girlfriend, who happens to be secretly dating his former boss and friend. The pressure must have been immense.
It's unbelievable. And Minh Tran, the kidnapper, he saw this. He recognized the leverage.
So he didn't just target Maddy?
No, he went wider, started attacking Rocco's whole support system, a deliberate strategy to break him down.
Like the attempt on his sister and nephew.
Exactly. Tried to abduct Adele and Billy. Pure terror tactic.
And then the firebombing?
Yeah, that was horrific. He firebombed that women's shelter down in South Texas, where Gena, Rocco's old love, was volunteering.
And Gina's friend, Lupe, was killed.
She was. It was all designed as this pressure cooker, to force Rocco's hand, make him give up Ruffin.
And all this external chaos is landing while Rocco's already dealing with a massive internal agency crisis involving his friends, right?
Absolutely. That complicates the Ruffin situation even more.
Remind us about that. Dante and Max.
Right. His two closest friends, Dante Johnson and Max Duncan, they'd just come back. Everyone thought they were dead.
Assumed dead, yeah.
They'd been victims of illegal human experiments,
Right.
tied directly to Dr. Ruffin's biochemical work.
So Rocco needs them, but they're also deeply traumatized by the very science Tran is demanding.
Exactly. And they're dealing with the physical fallout, the psychological scars. It's intense.
And then there was another hostage situation layered on top.
As if it wasn't enough, yeah. Max's fiancée, Erin Houston, she was taken hostage.
By who?
By another operative, Taz. Real name, Logan Trehorn. Deeply unstable guy.
And the critical part here, Taz had the actual data.
Physically, the data
Yeah.
chips with Ruffin's formulas. They were surgically implanted inside Taz's body.
Unbelievable. So Rocco's juggling, Maddy's kidnapping, threats to his family, threats to Gena, trying to get these crucial data chips back from an unstable operative holding another hostage.
All while his best friends are dealing with trauma directly linked to those chips. It's just an impossible storm.
But somehow, it all seems to pivot back to this deep personal betrayal at the absolute center of it all.
It really does. Which brings us to Gena Armstrong and Harry Gambrell.
Let's shift gears there. Rocco and Gena, they broke up 5 years before all this kicked off.
Right. And after the breakup, Gena married Harry Gambrell, another agency guy, also believed to be dead, like Dante and Max.
Okay, so here's where the story shifts. It stops being about external threats like Tran.
And becomes this stunning, long-game sabotage from inside.
Rocco and Gena, they're thrown back together because of the shelter firebombing, right? And they start talking.
They start piecing things together, what really happened 5 years ago. And the truth is, it's staggering.
What did they uncover?
Gena reveals she was pregnant with Rocco's child back when they broke up.
Wow, Rocco didn't know.
No. And here's the betrayal. Harry Gambrell, who was pretending to be Gena's close friend at the time.
He knew.
He knew, and he was apparently monitoring their communication. He intercepted a crucial phone call.
Between Rocco and Gena.
Yes. And he didn't just listen. He weaponized it. With absolute malice.
What did he do?
He lied to Gena, told her Rocco had completely denied the baby was his, fed her this line, supposedly from Rocco, "It's not mine."
Oh my God. That would destroy anyone.
It did. It broke Gena emotionally. Shattered her trust in Rocco completely.
Just calculated cruelty. Designed purely to split them up.
And then what does Harry do? He steps right in, plays the supportive friend, the hero.
And marries her.
Marries her. Ostensibly to give the baby a name, playing the noble protector.
But there was no baby in the end.
Tragically, no. Gena had an ectopic pregnancy. She miscarried shortly after they got married. She fell down some stairs.
So awful. But the depth of Harry's manipulation, it went even further, didn't it? It only came out later.
Much later.
Yeah.
And this part, it's deeply disturbing. It reveals the systematic psychological abuse Harry was carrying out.
What did he confess to?
Years into the marriage, he admitted, he'd been drugging her. Systematically.
Drugging her.
He admitted spiking her gin with grain alcohol and putting like a date rape drug powder into her tea regularly.
Why? What was the goal of doing that?
It wasn't just about physical harm. It was about control, mental control. He wanted to heighten her existing struggles with alcohol.
Manipulate her memory. Make her unstable.
Exactly. Make her confused, dependent, easier to control, easier to punish. In his mind, he wanted her to deteriorate.
Yeah, Rocco would see it.
So Rocco would see the damage. It was all about hurting Rocco constantly through Gena. He was using his position as her husband to wage this hidden war.
For 5 years, this methodical, quiet destruction. All this proxy revenge against Rocco. It's hard to fathom that existing inside the agency.
And the plot didn't stop there. It culminated in Mexico.
Right. Rocco finally figures out Gena's in danger, tries to get her out.
And walks straight into Harry's final trap. He needed security in Mexico. Someone reliable.
So he reached out through channels?
Yeah, used a trusted Interpol contact, Ray Salvador. Got recommended a security guy named Clay Watkins.
Let me guess. Clay Watkins wasn't real.
Or rather, the real Clay Watkins was already dead.
Yeah.
Murdered by Harry Gambrell.
So Harry stole his ID.
Stole his ID, inserted himself into Rocco's plan. He arranged the private flight for Rocco and Gena.
And then
Staged the plane crash.
Yeah.
Deliberately crashed it in the Mexican jungle near these old ruins, El Brisa.
to isolate them, completely cut off.
Perfectly isolated. And then Harry reveals himself, holds Gena hostage. Again.
But this time, his demand wasn't just personal.
No, this time he merged the personal vendetta with a professional goal. He demanded Rocco get him the actual formula for sugarcane, Ruffin's work.
And gave him another tight deadline.
36 hours. And he was so arrogant, so confident, his communication method was bizarre. Placing a personal ad in the Washington Post.
He must have felt untouchable. Was he working alone on this?
No, and this shows how deep the rot went. Harry admitted he had a mole inside the agency. Ian Brown.
Feeding him intel.
Tracking Rocco's every move. Giving Harry critical information. That's how Harry learned about Taz. About the data chips implanted in Taz. Harry wanted those too.
So Harry wasn't just after the formula, he wanted the physical chips as well. He was basically a rogue state within the agency.
Pretty much. Using agency resources, insider knowledge, all to fuel this incredibly personal revenge plot.
Okay, so this leads us towards the climax, the confrontation in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico.
Right. Rocco, Dante, and Max. They manage to turn the tables, set a trap for Harry.
Harry walks into it, thinking he's won.
He thinks he's got Gena. He thinks he's about to get the data chips. He's confident, cocky even.
And it's here, in this final confrontation, that he reveals the real reason, the ultimate motive.
He does. And it's stunning. He finally confesses this whole 5-year war against Rocco.
The lies about the pregnancy, marrying Gena, the drugging, the firebombing, the crash.
All of it. It wasn't really about Gena in the end.
Then what?
It was about another woman, someone named Carrie Ford.
Carrie Ford, who was she?
According to Harry, she was someone Rocco had slept with years ago, baby college. And then, crucially, forgotten. She later committed suicide.
And Harry blamed Rocco.
Entirely. He claimed Rocco's carelessness, just forgetting her name, drove her to it. Harry's entire crusade, all this destruction.
Was driven by vengeance for Carrie Ford. Over a forgotten hookup that ended tragically, his line was chilling.
You don't even remember, Carrie. That was it. The core.
It reframes everything. The global stakes, the kidnappings, the formulas, the deaths, all stemming from that single festering grievance.
It absolutely does. And it explains his final demand in that confrontation, too.
Which was?
He wanted Rocco to kill him. He was provoking Rocco, trying to get Rocco to shoot him dead. Suicide by operative. A clean escape.
But Rocco didn't give him that.
No. Rocco understood. Harry didn't want death as much as he wanted Rocco to finally suffer the way Harry felt he had. And killing him would be an ending Harry chose.
So Rocco shot him, but deliberately non-fatally.
In the chest. Wounded him seriously, but ensured he'd live. Live to face trial. Live with the consequences of everything he did. The manipulation, the betrayal of Gena, of Dante, of Max. No escape.
Harry had to face justice instead of getting his desired ending. Okay, so what happened with the other crises? Maddy?
Maddy was rescued. Travis Franks got her back. But there was a high cost.
What happened?
The sources mentioned she was pregnant, and she miscarried during the ordeal or shortly after. A tragic consequence of everything she went through.
That's terrible. And Taz, Logan Trehorn, the operative with the chips.
Taz released Erin Houston, Max's fiancée, unharmed.
Oh, okay, good.
But Taz,
Yeah.
he recognized the danger he represented. With Rufin's formulas physically inside him, he knew he was a permanent security risk, a walking weapon.
So what'd he do?
He took himself off the board. Permanently. Doused himself in gasoline and self-immolated.
Oh my God.
A conscious choice to destroy himself and the data he carried, ensuring it couldn't be misused. A truly devastating end for him.
Just layers upon layers of tragedy here. But amidst all that wreckage, there's some resolution. For Rocco and Gena.
There is. They finally understand the full picture. How Harry engineered their entire breakup 5 years ago, everything that followed.
And they reconcile.
They do. The sources say they decide to get married, build a new life together, completely away from all the agency trauma. No remnants from the past was the phrase
A
used.
completely fresh start. And what about Travis Franks, Rocco's old boss, Maddy's rescuer?
He makes a big change too. Seems like this whole ordeal shook his faith in the agency structure.
He leaves.
He resigns. Starts his own private security firm down in South Beach, Miami.
And hires.
His first hires, Dante and Max. Building a new team based on loyalty from the ashes of the old one.
Wow. What an incredible tangled story. So if we try to synthesize this, pull out the key takeaway from this deep dive, what is it?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing is how this incredibly complex, high-stakes operation spanning continents involving cutting-edge science
Was ultimately driven by something so deeply personal, just raw, unchecked emotional damage, a thirst for revenge going back years over something seemingly small that festered.
It really hammers home a scary point, doesn't it? That sometimes the biggest threats aren't external.
Exactly. They don't come from geopolitical enemies, but from inside, from unchecked malice, betrayal, personal grievances festering within the very organizations meant to protect us.
Which leaves us, you the listener, with a pretty provocative thought to chew on, I think.
Yeah.
When those lines blur, the lines between professional power and access and deeply personal vengeance, what really stops a compromised insider from turning the tools of national security inward, against their own colleagues, against the system itself?
A chilling question indeed. What safeguards are ever truly enough against that kind of internal rot?